Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wants Declan Rice. Declan Rice is unhappy with West Ham's 100 million price tag. Declan Rice plans to run his contract down. He will not be signing a new contract with West Ham. Declan Rice has got 3 years left on his contract. There could be a possible swap deal involving Declan Rice and Jesse Lingard, because West Ham want Jesse Lingard. Stuart Pearce, who's West Ham's first team coach, said that West Ham want Jesse Lingard, and he said that Jesse Lingard is a special lad. West Ham did recently receive a boost in their pursuit of Jesse Lingard, because it said we dropped our asking price for Lingard to 20 million. Initially we was demanding 30 million. Fabrizio Romano did mention that West Ham are going to submit another bid. Last season Lingard endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made a fantastic impact. Solskjaer confirmed that Lingard remains part of his plans for this season despite the ongoing speculation. Lingard's current contract at Man United expires next year. But Declan Rice, I'd certainly take him at Manchester United. Reasons is because he'd fit in our team perfectly. He's well proven in the Premier League. He's predominantly a holding midfielder, and Man United need a holding midfielder. He can also be deployed as a centre half. So they are the reasons. Declan Rice has been at West Ham for a good 7 years or so. Before West Ham, he was at Chelsea. He was in their youth setup for several years, but he never got in Chelsea's first team. Now, will Kylian Mbappe be playing at Manchester United next season? ESPN said that Man United have made Kylian Mbappe a transfer target, and Man United are eyeing a potential move for Kylian Mbappe next summer. He could be available on a free because Mbappe's current contract at PSG expires next year. Mbappe's likely destination is Real Madrid. The player's preference is Real Madrid. Real Madrid will make an attempt to sign Mbappe for the 30th of August. Mbappe is the second most expensive player and he's the most expensive teenager. PSG got him in a transfer worth €180 million with add-ons included. At one point PSG did have him on loan. They made him permanent back in 2018. Before PSG he was at Monaco, but he's a very, very good young prospect. And if Mbappe came to the Premier League, I think he would exceed expectations. Man United are going to need a striker for next summer because after this season, Edison Cavani is going to be leaving. Now, like I updated you this morning, Man United are unlikely to make any more signings before the transfer window closes. The transfer window shuts in just under 2 weeks, but not so long ago Solskjaer confirmed that he wants to make one more signing in this summer transfer window. Solskjaer's priority is to get a midfielder in, and there has been quite a lot of midfielders on our agenda. But Man United have to sell to get more signings on the board, and we've not sold one single player in this summer transfer window. Yeah, we've loaned quite a few players out. We recently loaned Andres Pereira out to Flamengo. We loaned Facundo Pellistri out. We also loaned Pellistri out back in January. We also loaned Axel Tuanzebe out to Aston Villa. And we recently loaned Ethan Laird out to Swansea. Brandon Williams looks like he's going out on loan with Norwich. And I think Amad Diallo's still going to be leaving. But Solskjaer said in his press conference building up to the game against Southampton that Amad Diallo may not be going out on loan and he could be staying at Man United, because Solskjaer mentioned that Amad Diallo was very impressive in training. I've already told you the players that I want to leave Man United. I want Phil Jones to go, but he won't be going in this summer transfer window. He's staying at Man United this season after Solskjaer tells him that he remains part of his first team plans. Jones recently made his comeback from injury in that behind closed doors game against Burnley. Jones was out with a knee injury for a while. He actually sustained a knee injury in that game against Tranmere in the FA Cup. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. Jones has been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. I also want us to offload Diego Dalot, but I heard it's very likely that Diego Dalot is going to be staying after how impressive he was throughout pre-season. Last season, Diego Dalot was out on loan with AC Milan. I also want us to offload Matic, but we're not going to in this summer transfer window. I think there's a chance he'll leave next summer, Matic. Got my strong reservations about Matic because he's always been a static player, plus he's ageing up, and he's not one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that he still seems to get his chances. Before the start of last season, Matic signed a 3-year contract with Man United. Matic has been with us now for 4 years. We got Matic in a deal worth 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. I also want us to offload Anthony Martial, but Martial won't leave, so he'll stay at Man United for this season. He could leave next year, Martial. The Telegraph said before the start of the season that Man United have got no intentions of selling Anthony Martial because he remains part of Solskjaer's plans for this season. Before that though, the Sun said that Man United are ready to sell Anthony Martial and will want at least £50 million. It mentioned that Inter Milan were interested in him. It said Inter Milan wanted Anthony Martial to replace Romelu Lukaku, because Lukaku went back to Chelsea. He said we'd have been happy to loan Anthony Martial out as long as Inter Milan agreed to include an obligation to buy in the deal. Martial has been at Man United for 6 years. He's got 3 years left on his contract. And he receives £200,000 a week. Martial scored 78 goals for Man United in all competitions, and we got him in a deal worth 58 million from Monaco back in 2015. Martial was out with an knee injury for a while last season. Martial's had 2 good seasons at Man United. He was good the season before last, and he was good in his debut season under Louis van Gaal. Like I said, I want us to loan Williams out. I want Lingard to also go. I also said I want Juan Mata to go. I think Juan Mata will leave next summer when his contract expires. Before the start of the season, Solskjaer spoke out on Man United's transfer plans. He did say any more signings would be a bonus for Man United. Solskjaer's been very pleased with our summer transfer business. We have made 3 signings in this summer transfer window so far. We brought Tom Heaton in from Villa on a free. We brought Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund, and we also brought Raphael Varane in from Real Madrid. And we've spent like £120 million so far. Solskjaer has got the backing he deserved. You know, surprisingly, our owners, the Glazers, have backed him, only because they've been persuaded to. Woodward, he said several times before that I'd back Solskjaer, and he assured that Solskjaer's job was safe, even when we was enduring them bad periods under him. John Murtough, like I've mentioned, he's played a part in getting Solskjaer the signings he wanted in. John Murtough is our director of football, and Man United certainly made the right decision getting a director of football in. And plus we've got Darren Fletcher, he's part of the club, and also we've got Matt Judge. This summer transfer window has been Solskjaer's 5th transfer window as permanent Man United manager. I reckon now Man United have got a very, very good squad. With the signings of Sancho and Varane. I thought it was a good squad before Sancho and Varane came in, but obviously it's even better now. I think Raphael Varane is going to do very well at Manchester United, like I said. I'm expecting Raphael Varane to make his debut tomorrow. Raphael Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds last weekend. We got Varane for 34 million. Obviously there was add-ons included. Varane signed a 4-year contract with Man United with an option of a further year. And Varane is wearing that number 19 shirt. At one point the Raphael Varane announcement was delayed due to image rights. And the other week Varane completed his medical. Varane is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's got a fantastic pedigree as a player because he won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid, and he's highly experienced. Jadon Sancho, I think he's going to do very, very well for Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him right. I'm expecting Jadon Sancho to make his full Premier League debut tomorrow. Last week he made his debut because he came on against Leeds. Sancho to Man United was confirmed on the 23rd of July. We got Sancho in a deal worth £78 million with add-ons included, and Sancho's under contract with Man United till June 2026. There's an option of a further year. Tom Heaton, you know, he's a good goalkeeper. Obviously we brought him in as a backup. To Tom Heaton's credit, he did very, very well throughout pre-season. We got Tom Heaton on a free, like I said. He's got a contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Dean Henderson, he's a very, very good goalkeeper. Obviously, he's unavailable at the moment because he has been recovering from COVID. Last season, Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for. His distribution was good and he kept a lot of clean sheets as well. He had some poor games last season. Weren't great in the Burnley game at home last season. He was poor in the 4-2 defeat to Liverpool because he made some mistakes. Henderson's got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. Before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with Man United, so reflecting on that, he committed his future to the club. David De Gea, I still highly rate him despite the mistakes he's made in the last couple of years. Obviously, we know De Gea is staying for this season because earlier on in the summer it said that De Gea decided to cut short his holiday by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place, and it said that De Gea is determined to fight for his Man United future. De Gea has been a long servant at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. You know, this is now his 11th season. De Gea's had 8 good years at Man United. A few years ago, he was regarded as the best goalkeeper in the world because he's won everything domestically at the football club and he's made over 500 appearances for Man United in all competitions. De Gea's got like 2 years left on his contract and he receives £375,000 a week. Edison Cavani, he's also made an impact since he's come in. Obviously, he's recently been unavailable. I'm glad he's staying for this season. I think Edison Cavani's hold-up play is good. He scores good goals, he creates very good chances, and his movement in and around the box is good. Cavani's got a great pedigree behind him as a player because when he was at PSG, he won a lot of trophies. Mason Greenwood, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad despite him going a long period without scoring at one point. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7. Last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract with the club, but he deserved the new contract reflecting on his good performances. Greenwood scored against Leeds last weekend, should have had a couple of more goals because he had 2 good early chances. One came from a mistake from Leeds, and Greenwood should have put one of them chances away, definitely. Whether he played Greenwood centrally or on the right hand side, you seem to get the best out of him. Still young, got a lot of development in him. Greenwood's got a long term future at Man United. Marcus Rashford, he's good when he wants to be, but Rashford has endured his bad periods. He was definitely out of form towards the end of last season. My other element of concern about Rashford, he's become injury prone. He's out with a shoulder injury at the moment. It initially said he was going to be out until October, but he could now be back before October. Don't forget, Rashford decided to have surgery on his shoulder. When Rashford comes back though, we need to keep him on that left hand side because for me that's where he seems to be more effective. Rashford has been a United player since the age of 7 and he's been in our senior squad since 2016. Bruno Fernandez, he's exceptional. Bruno Fernandez got his first Manchester United hat-trick last weekend against Leeds. Bruno Fernandez is our best player, and I think he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. In most of Bruno Fernandez's games at Man United, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. He's been with us now over a year and a half. You know, last season Bruno Fernandez won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We brought Bruno Fernandez in from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Solskjaer wants a new contract for Bruno Fernandez. He's under contract with Man United till 2025, isn't he? And at the moment he receives £100,000 a week. But the new deal will see him earn between £250,000 to £300,000 a week, so that's a huge pay rise. I updated you earlier on today, didn't I? Fabrizio Romano came out and said that Bruno Fernandez does not want to leave the club. He's happy to stay at Old Trafford as talks over a contract go on. Donny van der Beek, he's a good player, but I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Manchester United because he hasn't started that many games. He only started 4 games in the league last season. Most of Donny van der Beek's appearances have come from the bench. I'm expecting Van der Beek to start a hell of a lot more games this season than he did last season. I've said if he doesn't start enough games this season, we should offload him in January or next summer. We got Van der Beek in a deal worth £40 million from Ajax, with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United until 2025. And Van der Beek's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Paul Pogba, obviously, he's very, very good. Pogba got 4 assists last week in the game against Leeds. Also should have got his name on the score sheet because he had a fantastic chance. Pogba produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season, but at one point last season Pogba was out with a thigh injury for a while. Pogba is expected to stay at Manchester United for at least this season. Solskjaer recently said that talks are ongoing with Pogba's representatives to persuade Pogba to sign a new contract. Now, it said Pogba is set to not sign a new contract this year, but Pogba's refused to rule out a new deal. The Athletic said that Man United want to make Pogba the highest paid player at the club with a new 5-year contract worth £400,000 a week. Pogba's on £290,000 a week at the moment on his current contract. But Solskjaer said he's confident that Pogba will extend his contract. Sky Sports did say not so long ago that Pogba is very likely to leave Man United on a free next summer when his contract expires, and it said he's set to join PSG on a free. Because PSG are pushing to sign him next summer, and PSG are prepared to offer Paul Pogba £510,000 a week in wages to prize him away from Man United. Before the start of the season, Pogba rejected a new Man United contract. McTominay, he's also a decent player. McTominay needs more time at the club. McTominay's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. He's still young, got a lot of development in him. Just after the first lockdown last year, McTominay signed a 5-year contract with Man United. Fred, he's also good when he wants to be. Fred scored last week in the game against Leeds, put a very good second half performance out, but I do have my reservations about Fred. And we overpaid for him. We got him in a deal worth 52 million from Shakhtar Donetsk. Luke Shaw, very, very good left back. I'm expecting him to enjoy a good season. Last season Luke Shaw was exceptional. Luke Shaw's been our first choice left back for a while, and he still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Tellez last year. Shaw's been at Man United for like 7 years now, so he's been a long-serving player. And I reckon he's had a good career at Man United despite the injuries he has sustained before. We're looking at getting a new contract for Luke Shaw. I think Shaw's just got under 2 years left on his current contract. And Harry Maguire, he's a decent centre-half. He's had his good games at Man United, and he's also had his bad games. I'm expecting us to get the best out of Maguire now anyway. With obviously Raphael Varane alongside him. Maguire was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. We overpaid for Harry Maguire though. We got him in a deal worth £80 million from Leicester. Most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive signing at the club. Eric Bailly, he's a decent centre-half as well. And obviously his future is in doubt following the arrival of Raphael Varane. But I'd still keep Bailly, like I've mentioned, as a plan B. So if Varane or Maguire get injured, then Bailly's the plan B. There again, Lindelof's a backup. But like I said, I prefer Bailly to Lindelof. Much better centre-half. The only element of concern about Bailly is injury-prone. So in that aspect, is a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. There's an option of a further year. And Wan-Bissaka, he's a very good right back. He's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Maybe there's still certain aspects of Bissaka's game that's got to improve. Maybe he's got to show more attacking intent. Maybe his crossing's got to improve, but defensively, Wan-Bissaka has always been superb. We got him 50 million from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. So there you go. I think we've got the second best back four in the league. Liverpool's is first, then it's ours. Like I updated you not so long ago, Solskjaer wants new contracts for 5 players. That's Rashford, Bruno Fernandez, Luke Shaw, Harry Maguire and Paul Pogba. To be fair, we have extended a lot of players' contracts since Solskjaer got appointed in. But like I say, we've had a good start to the season, which is always imperative. Hopefully we can beat Southampton tomorrow. If we do, that's 2 wins from 2 in the league. And like I said, this season's massive for Solskjaer because he knows he's got big expectations to exceed. Solskjaer's ambition for this season is to win the Premier League. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. But he's got to win a trophy to basically save his job because he's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Man United manager. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.